Welcome to the Bullhucker podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Adam Vokey.
And you know what? Today we have a special guest. We have an OG Bullhucker, man, from back in the day, Mr. Josh Finley.
Hello, how are you? How is everyone?
Now
I'm stumbling. Sorry.
This is our 55th take. We're keeping this one. This one's sticking. This one is going to stick. So you might notice from the background, we are no longer in the Sands Theater right now. We might go back there eventually, but we're actually going to take this on the road. We're going to be out and about in Morgan County and other counties, hopefully, trying different places out. So today we're going to be filming and recording here in the Gladiators Gym, boxing arena. What was it about?
It's the Gladiators Boxing Gym at 825 East Platte Avenue, Unit C in Fort Morgan.
I almost got that. I almost got it correct. On with the show. Thank you, Ernie Marquez, by the way, for letting us do this here. That was super nice of him. And if you want more information on the Bullhucker or the gym, check out the description on the YouTube channel or whatever forum you do the podcast on, Stitcher, iTunes, whatever. They'll have a link to the website, so you can check it out if you want to send your kids here and learn, teach them how to fight. So later on in life, when they get mouthy, you can't take them. That's probably the best thing,
Important lessons.
Yeah.
When we were setting up, Ernie was working hard to get me to come in and work out. So
yeah, he doesn't play
I'm
around.
going to have to come in and let him destroy me.
He truly is a promoter, man.
He is.
He's not Ernie Marquez.
He's showing me all the stuff he's built to work out with and everything. There's some pretty ingenious stuff over there.
Yeah, he's a great dude. I really like Ernie, man, and he's very good at promoting this place. So I hope you do support this. Come support him because he supports this. So we really appreciate it. I'm going to say sorry we missed last week because we're doing this. We're starting to take this on the road, so we took a week off to number one, I had to break this stuff down from the sands. It was glued to the damn floor.
Yeah, we had to chip the ice off of it.
Yeah.
So
the sands is actually closed right now. They turned off the water and all that, so it's 28 degrees in there. Yeah. I went to go break it down. Had to go put on a heavier coat to come bring it on the podcast. So, but I think they have it under control at the Sands Theater. So
nice.
But if you're new to this podcast, welcome. It's the Bullhucker podcast. What we do on the Bullhucker is we bring on a guest, which is Josh Finley today. He's going to tell us 3 stories about his life. The kicker is only 2 of these stories are true. 1 is not true or a borrowed story. Josh, what is it, borrowed or is it made up? Don't be too elaborate.
It's a borrowed story.
He's got a borrowed story. The story is not his. True. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to all 3 stories, and Adam and I are going to try and make our best guess at if we can try and figure out which one is not his story. Now, we know Josh pretty well, I guess. We
do.
We've worked comedy shows with him before. We've booked him before. So are you still doing the comedy thing, Josh?
It's pretty slow, but yes.
Yeah.
I got a lot of material I've worked on, just haven't had the chance to work it out yet.
Okay, we'll do it here now.
Yeah. On the spot. Here we go.
Shift the light to Josh.
The line that every comic hates. Tell me a joke.
Oh,
I know. It's every time.
Don't ever ask a comedian that. It's because they don't do it to you.
Right. Right. I work in an assisted living center, and the hardest thing for me is most of my jokes are not assisted living center friendly, obviously. So I have to work a friendlier version. And it's been good, honestly. It's been good for me to take the same joke I have and work it to where it's family
little
friendly.
Cleaner.
Yeah, for sure. So and that's nice. But when they tell you, hey, I want to hear a joke. No, it's probably not a good idea.
You know what's really going on there. They're in their little game room, their little day room watching TV. The door shuts, locks. It's Josh like, shit.
Yeah.
Another 45 minutes of this guy's material.
Right.
Probably half the people living in there say stuff that's worse than your jokes. So
there's a couple. There's definitely a couple. Yeah. I wouldn't make them blush at all.
Yeah.
Not one bit.
Welcome to Sunny Acres Open Mic Night.
Right. It might not be a bad plan, honestly, for an activity.
To get that rolling.
Exactly.
I bet you get a lot of material. You could get a lot of material out of those folks.
A ton of material.
They do well. They do good on a podcast like this because those are people who have lived a life.
That's true. That's true. We might have to go to them.
Yeah.
It's not travel friendly, but we got a nice theater.
Right.
We can set it up.
Do you ever? Do they ever do that to you? Do they ever give you advice? Do they ever tell you stories, Josh?
That's all I want to hear. That's the one thing why. This was never my wheelhouse, this type of job that I'm in, and so to do this, that's what I've gained the most, is to learn these stories from them, because the stories that I probably never got to talk to my grandparents about, now that they're gone, I hear from them and I learn from them. So I say most of my day is putting their TV back onto the right HDMI port, and they give me advice. So
that's cool.
It's a win-win.
That's cool.
You get a story, they get Wheel of Fortune.
That's right, exactly. Fox Business seems to be popular.
What's wrong with the Wheel of Fortune?
Nothing. I'm just
I
saying.
can't wait. I can't wait. Do you know what I'm going to listen to in the home? or watch
What's that?
the Andy Griffith Show.
Oh yeah,
I'm still a fan. I still watch it. You know.
I could whistle the tune now if you needed to.
It's fantastic, bud.
Right.
At B.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bud, it's so hot in those dresses.
I was,
bud.
I was so.
I was watching the Carol Burnett show the other night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's because we're old, man.
Gosh.
When that B's baking that cake or that pie and she pulls it out of the oven, I'm like, all right, here's the sweet spot. This is why I tuned in today.
Oh my gosh.
Randy, I'm like, give it to Randy. He's not really your auntie, it's Strange-o. So,
Oh my gosh! I just learned this year. I got on a Facebook group that was called National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and it was just people that would tell different quirks about the show or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so Clark's mom, do you know who that is? She was on. She was Alice on the. Oh my gosh! I don't know if it was Alice's restaurant or not, but she was the one that was always "Kiss my grits."
no, it's
It was Flo.
Flo, yes,
Flo's
I'm
Diner.
sorry. Flo's Diner.
the show's called Alice, right?
Yeah, it's called Alice.
Okay,
But
yeah.
the
there you
diner
go.
was Flo.
There you go. I'm
Flo's
sorry.
Diner.
Kiss my grits. I did not realize that.
I didn't know that till they were going through some of the people that were in the Christmas Vacation and where they were from, and after seeing it, I'm like, of course it is.
And I'm going to have to go check that out.
Today's movie makers would have put that in the movie, by the way. You know they would have.
Yeah.
At one point in time when they're talking shit on old Griswold, she'd been like, you kiss my grits. You kiss his grits, too. You kiss everybody's grits. Sons of bitches.
Sounds like there's some grits that needs to be kissed.
That's right.
Starting with your boss, Clark.
Oh my gosh.
Do you actually know what I like best about the Christmas Vacation movie?
What's that?
That it's a Christmas movie, unlike Die Hard.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, you know what? That's my last shot. Okay, it's January. That's my last shot. So,
Okay, so since you brought that up, Gremlins, Christmas movie?
nope.
I mean, it happens at Christmas.
Is Lethal Weapon? Is that a Christmas movie?
That's right.
He's trying to
Which,
blow-
so it's kind of
Which
the
is
same
funny,
thing.
was filmed on National Lampoon Street. Danny Glover's house is the next door neighbors of Clark's house.
Seriously?
Yeah, on Lethal Weapon, the original Lethal Weapon.
What house? What is that in Chicago? I'm assuming?
No, it's in Los Angeles. The whole street. It was there's 3 movies that were filmed on that same street, but in Lethal Weapon, the neighbor's house, the Margot and whatever his name is, that's Danny Glover's house in Lethal Weapon.
Do you know what the
Crazy
Seriously?
stuff. Yeah. Yep.
I was going to convince. I almost confused 2 movies. I was going to do Home Alone. And I was going to be like, it's pretty shitty. If that kid had to defend himself and Danny Glover next door,
Lived right next door.
Yeah, no.
I'd help you, but you're white and I'm too old for this shit.
That's it.
I think Danny would have been like, looks like you got it, kid.
Yeah. I'll be upstairs asleep.
Taking a shower, taking a bath as my whole family walks in, which is the weirdest part of that movie, by the way. When they walk
yeah.
in the shower, you know what I mean? It's like,
It's probably real, though. I mean, you know, I
In
can
the
see that
bathtub?
happen. In my house, it would happen. People
What?
don't care. They're like, we're coming in. Like, yeah, there's no privacy.
I don't want to see that.
No, I don't either, but
You know?
but I gave him fair warning. That's,
Why is there a buoy?
The shower running would be,
it's the smell usually that's emanating from the room.
Oh my
You're gonna get hit with that a few minutes before you.
It's nature's defense.
Right.
Okay.
Oh
all right.
my gosh,
So,
getting in trouble when I get home for sure.
is that Mama?
No.
Okay,
No.
all right. Because your wife's tough.
Oh, she's real tough.
She'll whip your ass.
No, in a heartbeat, yes, and bury the body. Done. You'll never.
She's in enough shape to dig at the hole.
Oh, for sure.
The kind of woman you got to worry about, you know?
Yeah.
That's funny. So what we got here is 3 stories. Let's get on. Are you ready to tell some stories, Josh?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Adam, you want to read them off?
Yeah, we got Suburban Fish Tank, Tim McGraw is neither humble or kind, Memorial Day Meth Party.
You know, that's why I love you so much, Josh, because I read those 3 stories and I don't honestly know which one I'd pick if I had to pick one. And just for the record, if you want to go all the way back to your episode, Josh has one of my all-time favorite stories that, spoiler alert, wasn't true. I got fooled by it. I wanted it to be the Bullhucker and the little diorama
Yeah, the drug box.
Yeah, the drug box, and I was hoping that was true, and it wasn't, and I almost quit doing this podcast. I'm like, I don't want this disappointment ever again.
3 episodes in, Larry couldn't handle it.
Yeah, like this. I hate this already. I don't see if I can return this shit to Amazon. So, all right. Well, Voki, you want to pick one up?
I'm going to go with Suburban Fish Tank.
I'm shocked. I thought you were going to pick another one.
I thought he was too, honestly.
the
yep.
one you remarked on before this. But
Yep.
Well,
that's a great title. But yeah, okay, Suburban Fish Tank.
Suburban Fish Tank. All right, so this is a story about divorce. This is how my last marriage ended. Things weren't going so good. It'd been a little rough for a couple years, and and we were getting towards the end of things, and happened to come home from work one afternoon, and I just bought a brand new pair of Red Wing work boots. And so come in the back door, went to the mud room, took my boots off, threw the clothes in the washer, and I hopped in the shower. She was in the kitchen, or living room at the time. And so I got in the shower, come out, I don't know, 20 minutes later or whatever, and I come out, and my brand new work boots are full of water. Full of water. I mean, and they hold water.
Right.
Red Wings will hold water.
If they're water resistant, that
Yes.
means they will hold it on the inside
As
as well.
well, as well.
Oddly enough, they're water friendly.
Yes. So, kind of rough day at work, come home, you get this on top of that. I just said, all right, well, here we go. And so I go upstairs, I packed me a go bag, and I didn't even say goodbye, walked out the front door. Her Suburban sitting in the front, in the driveway. I loaded the truck, and I'm like, alrighty. Go over, I grabbed the garden hose. The window was cracked about this far off the top. I shoved it through as far as I could, got through the steering wheel, turned on the
did.
sink, and then I rolled out, buddy. So I don't know if it was, several hours later, I got a phone call about, it was... the divorce would be imminent. In short,
Dude,
in short.
I wouldn't have called you. I'd have stabbed you the minute you got home. I'd have played it cool.
I wasn't coming home. Definitely
okay,
wasn't coming
okay,
back. Not while
okay.
she was there anyway. No.
That's what they call a parting
Yeah,
shot.
that was my. Yeah. I was out. I was
awesome.
done. She was done.
That's awesome.
But I'm sure the water rolling out the windows was probably a heck of a surprise.
Do you think so?
Oh, I would think, yeah.
I'd be so. What kind of car was it?
Suburban.
What year was it?
Oh shoot, probably 2000. Like it was.
So it was
fairly new.
New-ish.
Yeah.
I'd fucking cut you, man. Dude, I would. I'd so hurt you, man.
Well, you do what you do. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good, but it was a goodbye. It was a goodbye nonetheless. Either way. But
You got wow. You got to worry about the retaliation with them. You don't like her. She's your ex-wife, but how inventive is she? How what's the word I'm looking for? How big is her imagination?
after that, probably fairly good. I'm sure there were several ways. She was probably thinking of ways to kill me before that, honestly.
Right.
Now she's just going to get creative. Now she's going to get
How
creative.
creative is she looking? That's what I was looking for.
Right.
You're divorced. Did you ever do anything like that?
No.
Because your wife would have cut you. Marty came at you.
How many
No,
times have you been divorced?
What's up,
Just
Marty?
once.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But the whole thing is, Marty and I, when we got divorced, that was the most civil breakup I've ever had. So
Well, then you got lucky. You got lucky.
there were some girlfriends before that
A little rough.
didn't go so well, but
Right.
there were cops involved and broken fish tanks. And
Good Lord, man.
See? I just made a fish tank. That's all I did. I thought it was creative.
You know what would have been awesome? You should have put some goldfish in it. Came back, just squeezed them through the
Just
door.
left them in there.
Oh.
Bloom, bloom. But they would have barely, by the time it filled up enough for them to swim, they'd have been dead anyway. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Would have been
put them
awesome.
in the cup holder, put water there first.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't
then-
have all that planned. It was just and
Right.
and out.
Because then she opens the door, the starburst water comes rushing out, and then there's a fish she just killed. Now she's the monster too. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? You know?
Right. And I might get like an animal abuse violation or something, I might get arrested for stuff like that. So
Right.
this was
Right.
just, you didn't really do anything wrong. He's a co-signer on the car.
You co-signed the car.
Oh, of course. I mean,
Oh my goodness! So it was your car that you took the hit on.
I was going to take the hit anyway, man.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Josh Finley, divorce attorney.
Oh, it's not. Don't ever take my divorce advice, ever, or my marriage advice. That's not any better.
Josh, there's someone listening to this podcast right now who's got an ex-girlfriend or boyfriend who's like, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
The minute he gets nice enough to hook the hose up again.
It's like, I hear faucets coming on all over Morgan County right now.
You do it in the winter, it might freeze. You have an ice cube. You have a glacier,
That would be so shitty, bro. That would be.
Chevy Glacier. That'll thaw out in the spring. You'll be fine. You'll be able to drive it in the spring. Don't worry about
you
it.
know
It's a
what you
Chevy
do?
Glacier Spring Thaw Edition.
That's right.
You know what you do? You still put a goldfish in it just to be a bigger shit. Where the goldfish, you can see it and just look at you all worried like, what's it so cold in here? That's funny. That's great.
Oh my God.
Well, what do you think about that story?
That was great. I really, really hope that was true.
Then the cops could do nothing.
No, I didn't ever have to worry about it. I mean, they didn't even. I don't know if she even called. Honestly, there was some calls between us, and I had to take the hit on the car, obviously. But I never. I mean, there was cops. I didn't talk to them, so I didn't.
You do that today, you go to jail for wasting water.
Oh no, shit. That's
If it's rainwater.
no shoot. Sorry. Yeah.
That's funny. All right.
It's rainwater, not over 110 gallons.
Suburban fish tank.
Don't get me started.
That was good.
That's why I brought it up.
I'm going to pick the story. I know which one I want to hear, but as usual, I'm going to save that one to the third. So I'm going to go ahead and take Tim McGraw is nice.
Is neither.
Is neither.
Neither.
As I said, nice there. Tim
Sorry.
McGraw is neither humble or kind.
He is neither humble or kind. That's correct. So this happened 98, 97, somewhere in there. Kit Carson County Fair in Burlington, Colorado. That's where I'm originally from. My first wife was from, so I was actually down there during fair time. Her mom did something with I can't even remember what her official title was, but she was in charge of all the entertainment, so bringing all the acts in and doing everything that they had to do. And so me, my wife, and her brother were sitting at the house, and she calls and she goes, "Hey," she goes, "there's a roll of carpet out in the garage." And she goes, "I need you to bring that down to the fairgrounds." And we're like, "Okay." And she goes, "It's just up or on the side there." So we go grab the carpet and bring it down to the fairgrounds, and found her, and she goes, "Well, we need to pull it out back." She goes, "Tim McGraw's bus is out back. He's going to be the entertainment for Kit Carson County Fair." Now, when you're at the Kit Carson County Fair, they don't bring in acts that are at the top of their game. They're either on the way up or the way down. There's never the big guy there. So he was coming up. He hadn't even married Faith Hill at this point in the game. And I had a couple songs that I really liked off his first album. So I was like, I was kind of starstruck that we're going to get down and maybe even meet him. We get down there, and she goes, "So we need to put some carpet between Tim McGraw's bus and the food tent."
Like a red carpet, or
no? It was just old carpet from their house, like they had remodeled or
Can't
whatever.
get his boots dirty.
But he can't get his boots dirty. That's what I found out right away. I'm like, what?
aren't those what they're for?
Exactly. And we're a cowboy, right? It's like, you're not even big time yet, buddy. This is like, these people are buying your albums.
Right.
What's the deal? And so we go over there, and I'm already just shaking my head going, I can't even believe this, And then she goes, "Hey, we need to go get some ice." So we go get, 12 or 15 bags of ice or whatever. So we left, we come back, we get ice. We get all these coolers. We dump the ice in the coolers, and the road boss comes off the bus, and he goes, "Dump all those." We're like, "What?" And he goes, "I have to watch you dump that ice. I don't know what's in there." It's ice.
Frozen water. Out of my wife's
I was going to say it. It's suburban ice.
It's suburban water ice.
Suburban ice. I didn't think of that. Jeez.
Why is there goldfish in it?
And so once again, I'm shaking. And we're in Burlington. This is 1990s. There wasn't a whole lot more ice in town. Okay, so we're like, okay, what do you want us to do? Well, we need brand new ice. So we go down, buy another 15 so bags, whatever it is. We come back. We have to find this guy, have him come over, watch us do the same exact thing, and get all this done. As I'm watching on the other side of this, like, I don't know, from me to maybe this wall over here, they're moving in the food to the food tent, which is right next to where the bulls are. So there's manure and flies, all this right here.
Right.
But the red carpet, we'll call it red carpet, from the bus to the food tent. And I'm like, at that point, I lost all respect for Tim McGraw, man.
Right.
I'm done with you. I don't care about, what you do from here on out, man, but just done.
He's from Louisiana, right?
I'm not even sure, to tell you the truth.
What was his Bill? Napier's his last name. He worked at Edwards, and then grew up with him.
Really?
And he said the same thing. He's a prick. I'm like, well, he's 4 foot tall. I mean, give him a break. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah. Got small man complex or something, man.
How was the concert?
I didn't go.
Oh, you just didn't go?
No, we didn't. I didn't. I was done. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And once again, he was just coming up. He wasn't even a huge star, obviously,
Right.
And once I didn't even want to spend money. I'm like, we'll sit at home. I don't care.
Yeah. That's fucking wild, man.
I'll sit by the Ferris wheel. I can still hear it from there. I
Right.
just don't
Yeah.
have to buy a ticket.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's a bad deal.
Mr. Country, what is his first album? What's on it? Like Indian
Outlaw.
Yeah.
Not a moment too soon was the song I liked the
yeah.
most that was
Don't-
on there.
Don't take the girl.
Oh, that's a great song.
Yeah.
That truly is a great song. That's from like 94, though. That's
Yeah, I mean, it was.
yeah.
He was still, and I don't even know when he met Faith. I want to say like 99 or somewhere in there is when he got with Faith and
Maybe.
went on. But
I saw Sawyer Brown in Burlington. at the
Nice.
fair. So they were on the way, I think, down. Because it would have right around that same time, that 96 to 98 area. So
Nice. That's a cool story, man. It's funny on the way up or the way down you say that because that's where I saw my hair rock legends. You know what I mean? And so I've seen some concerts in the '80s would have cost you a fortune to see.
Oh yeah.
But since it was 1998, it was a $30 bill. You know.
Exactly.
I saw it.
and now you're seeing the same thing at Bobstock for free.
Yeah. And excited for it. That's the sick part. I've gotten that old. You know, one year in Pueblo, me and my friend Randy saw Skid Row,
Oh yeah.
Tesla, Vince Neil from Motley Crue, and Jackal all in concert. It was like a $30 ticket, man. In the '80s, that would have been
That was a huge.
$300.
that would have been in a McNichol Sports Arena. That's how big that concert would have been.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? So, and I was happy to do it, man. I was all excited, like a little fangirl. And you know. Play some Crew, Vince. Play some Crew.
I saw I can't even remember who all was there. Judas Priest was one of them, but there was a few others. It was at Fiddler's Green, and Rob Halford. There was I don't even know what they call the deal the devil carries with the three.
I want to call it a trident, but that's what.
It's
That's
a
the side.
pitchfork. It's a pitchfork.
Pitchfork.
Yeah.
We'll call it that.
Yeah.
So there's this 3-point deal on top of the stage, and on each of the points, there's it looks like fire. And from where we were sitting, it looked like fire. Well, about midway through the show, Rob Halford gets up on the top, and he's like singing, and he's like, all like this, right over one of those pits of fire. And I was looking through my binoculars at him up there, and I looked down, and it's one of those deals you get from like Hobby Lobby that's just the light and the fan and the fabric. It wasn't even real fire, and I'm like, come on, man.
It's all we can find. Is what you do.
We can't have real fire. Like, we watch Great White. We can't have fire.
Ask Michael Jackson what happens when you get fired.
And Pepsi.
And Pepsi. Yeah.
Well, apparently, Disturbed didn't take those same notes because I went and saw them a few years ago in Springs, and they had real fire and lots of it because I
boy.
could feel the heat off that shit.
Wow.
And I was clear up, like way up in the nosebleeds. It
was in an
nets
ar-
on
in an
fire.
arena?
Yeah, it was in the Broadmoor Arena or whatever.
Wow.
And
In
like,
Springs?
Yeah.
Oh, the World Arena. there.
World Arena. Yeah, that's what it is.
Wow.
But yeah, there's was these big cargo looking nets, and those things they set those on fire, and it was crazy. So
Didn't
yeah,
think that was legal anymore. Wow.
well, we're not in Rhode Island, so
Okay.
True.
Know your exits.
I don't know if it's just illegal. They just have better technology now, I guess. You know, like the flapper thing from Dollar General. But I mean, you know, they might have went up to like Target and got a better one. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a higher class one.
The electric fireplace just blows heat. It's not real heat. It just blows the heat.
That's right. That's right.
it's infrared.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, what do you think?
I could kind of see that from Tim being the diva.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of them are divas. And I would respect a guy who's got dirty boots from a country concert. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
would
there's
expect
one
that.
guy. I got dirt on my boots. He sings about having dirt on his
John
boots.
Party, yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
hillbillies. All right,
It's credibility, you know. As a country guy, you should have. You know, you might dress nice, but there better be some dirt on your boots,
Right.
man. Maybe a little poo. You know, might even,
right.
that really seals the deal.
It's like
Multiple types of poo makes it a real deal.
Right,
Man.
right. That's cow, pig.
Goat.
That might be ostrich. I don't know what that's doing here, but I got it on my boots.
There's
I think
chicken
I
shit.
think I picked that other. I don't know what that other is, but I think I picked that in the
That's like
parking lot last night.
It's like a rapper getting dentures and being like, "No gold for me, thanks."
Right. Exactly.
All white pearlies, please.
and straight as can be.
As straight as can be. That's right. That's no kidding. So, yeah, I'd respect it more. And you know that breaks my heart to hear that story because if it's true, because I really do like Tim McGraw. I like the music. You know, I live like you were dying is one of my favorite songs of all time.
But here's something to think about, Moose. All these stories are technically true. One of them's just not his.
Oh,
That's
that's
true.
right. That's right. Well, then up your ass, Tim McGraw. I tried to hang out for you, man. I was like, obviously our friend
my
Josh
God.
is a liar. He's not being honest about you. He's throwing you under the bus, calling you pretty. Turns out you might be some bitch. All right. We got one less. We got Suburban Fish Tank out of the way. We got Tim McGraw, neither humble or kind. You never got to actually meet him though.
No.
Hmm.
No.
That'd been funny if he's a truly small man. Not to keep going, but we went and saw Carlos Mencia. Did you go with us to that?
Yeah, I was there.
How little is that guy?
Yeah, he's tiny.
I took Juan Ayala from Village Liquor. This is my you had to pick a customer, And when I met CrossFit Z, I wanted to just pick him up. Like, look at you.
Aren't you
You're
cute?
so funny. How some this small steals so many jokes? I mean,
That's why he had Brad Williams with him, because he wanted to look taller.
Oh my God.
That's right. Adam shares that opinion about you, Brad, not me. So,
I'm just saying. At least Carlos was taller than Brad.
because he listens, right? All right. One last story. Memorial Day meth party.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So graduation, Memorial Day, right after graduation, 1995. This happens. I'll give you a little backstory. So my mom was dating my future stepdad at the time, and we lived in Eaton. He lived in Evans. And so for basically 2 years of my high school career, Friday and Saturday nights he would stay with us at our house, and Sunday and Monday nights he'd go stay with my mom and go stay with him in Evans. And so for a high school kid living alone, you got 2 nights alone at the house. So for almost 2 years, we'd have parties at my house on Sunday and Monday nights. And so right after graduation, we're having we want to have a little get together. My folks are going to Red Feather for the weekend, so we got the house for 3 or 4 days to ourselves. On the side, I was making a little money selling some extracurricular stuff they sell legally now at little other stores, and fireworks, correct, fireworks. And so I had a little thing going on, and I had a little delivery that was going to be coming in on Friday night, and so I decided, I was like, hey man, just come to the house, And so by the time he gets there, I don't know, there's about 12 or 15 of my group of friends, and we're all sitting at the house and listening to watching MTV, as a matter of fact. It was kind of, fun. They actually had music videos at one point in its life, but we're sitting around, and he shows up, and he's like, hey man, I need to talk to you. So we go downstairs, and he goes, I only got you about half of what you needed. He said they didn't have any more I said, okay, well, I said, that's fine. He goes, but I got this other stuff. And I was in high school, and I was ready to try everything. I did try most of everything. I had no trouble. I figured, how can you ever know unless you just get in there,
Right.
So I'd done a few other things, and he says, well, I got this, this other stuff. You want to try it? I'll give you a little bit of mine. If you like it, I'll just make up the difference in that. I said, okay. I said, well, what is this? Well, back then it was called crank. And so he goes, I got this, and then so he puts a little out, and he cuts it up for me, and I do a big old rail. He does a rail, and we go upstairs. He says, about a half an hour, so you're going to be feeling this. And about a half an hour later, amen. I was ready to go, man. We're having a good time, and I was ready. I told him, I said, I think that'll work. That's fine. Let's talk about it. So we go back downstairs. He gives me 4 baggies, and I don't even know how much it was. Never even asked. One of the pieces of the discussion should have been, how much should we do? What is a good dosage? That discussion didn't happen. We smoked a lot of weed back then. So for me, it was like, I already knew my tolerance of weed. When you fall asleep, you'll wake up, eat some Doritos, and you'll be fine,
Yeah.
Like,
Golden.
no trouble. With this stuff, he didn't say anything. And so, immediately, you felt good. And I thought, well, if a little bit's good, a lot's got to be better, right? So,
Yeah, because name one thing in life that happens.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Moderation. I was never good at it.
Yeah,
So
me either.
by this time, I invite all the friends down, and everybody that wanted some, we all had some. Me and my girlfriend at the time, a couple of my other friends, whatever. And one of the other side effects of it is that you are definitely aroused, and you become a little more active. So that was another bonus part. Is that we're downstairs, going to town, and we go upstairs and party, do our thing, and then come down and have another little session. So
Sure.
I'm like, damn, this is all right. So didn't really set in that first night when you hadn't slept all night long. You're just like, yeah, man, maybe it just takes a little while to wear off, no big deal. And we had been drinking like the entire time, but I never really felt drunk at all, just didn't felt like I was hung over anything. So Saturday we're all doing our thing, hanging out. Smoked a little more weed, whatever. We finished up what was left of all of the 4 bags he gave us. We partied straight through till Monday at noon, something like this.
Wow.
And the one thing about it that was good was that that at this point, the one thing that people will do is they say you'll clean, and that's exactly what everybody did. They didn't want to steal my shit yet, because it wasn't like this is everybody's first time.
Right.
You hadn't reached the junkie stage, right? But they
Right.
needed something to do, so they're cleaning the house, and they're going through cleaning everything. And I'm like, we partied three and a half straight days. You couldn't tell. The house was cleaner than my mom left it, right? Like it was amazing. So we get through. Mom comes home. I'm still freaking out a little bit because I haven't slept in like 5 days. It feels like 4 days or whatever it is.
Right.
Mom comes home. She goes, "What did you do this weekend?" I said, "I don't know. I had a few friends over. We mostly went out." And she goes, "Man, the house looks nice." I was like, "Well, thank you." And I tried to pick up a little bit. And I said, my girlfriend, she was over for a little bit. She did a little bit too. I said, "Yeah, okay." So we leave, hang out, do our thing. It was the next day. I still hadn't slept. I called my buddy. I said, "Hey, man, when does this stuff wear off?" And he's like, he says, "How much did you do?" And I was like, "What?"
All of it.
All of it. That's exactly. And it was a like Cheech and Chong moment when he goes, "Oh." He's like, "You might be up for a few more days, And I'm like, "Oh my God, dude." So I go home and I'm just, I don't even know how to react to my mom first and foremost. I'm a little worried about that. I walk in the house, and when I left, obviously things were good. She was happy. I cleaned the house. I come home, and she's in my face. She goes, "I want to know where my pickle's at." And I'm like, "What are you talking about, pickle? What do you mean?" "On the refrigerator." And she had these things since I was a little kid. They look like little fruit. Like one was a tomato, one's a freaking banana, one's a pickle, one's all these different things. And I like when I was a little kid, they were on there. So she had these for a long time.
Like googly eyes, that kind of thing.
No, like
they're
it was just
magnets.
there's a magnet, but
Okay.
it really looked like it was a pickle.
I think my aunt had some of those.
Like it was a big thing in the 70s and all this. But that was what she had found. So here I am worried about coming home junked out for 4 days, and she's in my face about, "Where's my fucking pickle?" So immediately I'm like, "I have no idea. I don't know. I guess I must have misplaced it when we were cleaning the house."
Yeah.
"Who's we?" "Oh,
I told you my girlfriend was over?
I said, I was like, "Me and my girlfriend." She goes, "She wouldn't take my pickle." Oh my God.
Hey, Mom, not to be awkward, but she took mine. Pop, pop, pop. Many times, Mom. Many times.
This weekend alone, yes. Yeah, it was bad. But anyway, so finally, next Tuesday or the next day, it finally wore off. Never touched the stuff again in my life. Never. I mean, It was the worst come down I've ever had in my entire life. Got off of it. But to this day, I could bring up the pickle with my mom, and she will light me up. None of my friends will ever admit who took it. Nobody will say who did it. But of all that, amazingly clean house she came home to, that's the one thing I got in trouble for.
You want to know why, Josh? Because somebody high out of their ass ate that damn pickle.
Probably.
Very chewy. Very.
It's just old. No problem.
old.
Keep going.
I don't know why they keep it on the outside of the refrigerator, but the Finleys are all weird asses. So
Oh my gosh.
that's horrible. That's when they give you this stuff. They're like, "You have a garage or a shed?" "No." "Well, you're gonna build one here in about a day. It's by yourself, and you're gonna be happy to do it."
It was, yeah. No, I honestly, that was the worst I've ever felt in my entire life.
Right.
And you should have asked, like, "What's in this?" No, we didn't ask that. We're just like, "Nah, man."
You didn't ask it at all.
No, we didn't care.
It's crank, huh? Seems legit.
It seems legit. Yeah.
Shady Johnny wouldn't do me wrong, so. Right.
Yeah, man. It was bad.
That's probably how they get. That's probably how they get you hooked. Like, I didn't bring all the weed, but I got. You know what I mean? That's probably a.
It probably worked. I'm sure.
It's probably a thing, don't you think? I mean,
it would have kept me a little slimmer for
Yeah.
sure if I'd have went that way instead of this way.
almost a little deader too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'd have to make sure you don't steal the equipment when you leave.
Right.
Like, "Hey, Josh, thanks for coming on, but what's with the knife?"
No doubt.
All right, what do you think about that one, Vogue?
I don't know. Seems, legit.
Yeah, I liked it. Before we go on, I will say, as previous, you can find all this stuff on the bullhucker.com as along with our previous episodes. Also, below the bullhucker.com in the description, you'll find the Gladiator Gym's website. So you can get to their Facebook. You can find them on Facebook as you can us, and all social media, on Instagram. I do have a TikTok account that I've been having a little fun with. I've been putting some of these clips on here, as long as the clips of myself when I'm bored, You can check that out.
Nice.
So check all that out. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe. Down in the right-hand corner, the little red dot, hit that button. It'll subscribe to the podcast for you, so you get all the notifications when this comes out. If you're on any kind of other platform like iTunes, Stitcher, whatever you get your podcasts from, please leave a rating and review. Hopefully we'll see it. If not, but it does help the podcast. These are all little clicks for you, big clicks for us. So we really do appreciate it. If you're interested in being on this podcast or having it in your business, because we are going to travel from business to business doing this, trying to promote Morgan County businesses along with the podcast, get a hold of me or Adam. We're pretty easy to find. Voke, Vocke. How do you spell that? Although my phone will not call you Voke for live. I say, it's all right. Calling Adam, fuck.
Like, fuck. Okay.
Call his mother Vuck. So that's how she says it.
Janice Fock.
Janice, that's right.
It's fine.
His mom's name is Janice. I called this woman Janice for like the first 2 years I'd met her.
Oh my gosh.
Her name's Lynette.
Lynette. Oh no.
I still call her Janice. One day Adam goes, I gotta ask, man, who the hell's Janice? I go, stupid, it's your mother, idiot. He's like, no.
No.
Her name's Lynette. Like, since when? He's like, the day of her birth, you idiot.
Oh my
Since
god.
forever.
And you know what the nice part about that was? Janice was like, your friend Larry's a little special, a little simple. Just let him call. She just answered to it after a while. She never corrected me. No one ever corrected me. Everybody's like, oh, that's nice, Larry. Oh, Larry.
Good job, Larry.
Yeah, it's Janice, isn't it? You done real good, Larry. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Sella, you know,
Yeah.
that you train with? Her
The
husband?
Rudy thing.
Yeah. Her husband, I thought was a guy from high school named Rudy. Called him Rudy for a long time.
Oh boy.
Finally, he started calling me Frank or something. I go, it's not Frank. He's like, my name's not Rudy. No, he called me Rudy is what it was. He called me Rudy. I'm like, my name's not Rudy. He's like, yeah, neither's mine. I go, no shit.
I see Jerry every morning at the gym.
Oh
I'm going to
my
have to walk up to him tomorrow and be like, hey, Rudy, what's
Yeah,
up?
call him Rudy. But your friend Larry's an idiot and kind of stupid,
Oh
but
my
she's not
gosh.
wrong. So now what we do, after saying all that, thank you for the clicks, by the way, is we're going to go ahead and pick. Now, I am giving up the fight. I'm giving up the fight. Josh, and I know the answer from you, rock, paper, scissors.
Oh.
How many times do you do it?
Oh, it's 3. I mean, it's
Boom,
not,
boom, show.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We went over this.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I did. If you listen to the last podcast, the best of 2021 episodes, I do all the math, and I added up, and we got crushed. You and I.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You'd have to. I don't remember the numbers. It was not. It was. They doubled us. Which means we're one of the few that are right. It's hard. It's hard to be right, Josh.
Yeah.
It's hard to be right.
Silent majority.
Yeah. And
That's
by
it.
the way, you were.
Moose, silent.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. And as a co-host, by the way, you had almost had a winning record too. So it was damn close.
It was close.
I think it was like, what was he, 1-1?
I was 1-1.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because you were with Carrie and you were with Pierre, which, by the way, had 2 of the most outrageous stories. I don't know how you always show for the outrageous ones.
I don't know. It was fun.
The Here I Come and the Goat are 2 stories that are, oh, wow.
Yeah, Andy's story still is one. I just love that one the most. The helicopter story.
That's a great story.
Oh my
dude.
god, I laugh at that.
What's up, Andy Johnson?
Yep, I laugh at that all the time. It's hilarious.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, where he was trying to land the helicopter.
Dude, he had 3 really great stories. But the helicopter one, probably one of my favorites of all time in this podcast. But the motorcycle one's pretty damn good,
That
too.
one's real good too, for
Right.
sure. Yeah,
Right. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and pick one, Adam. So, ready? We're going to do your 4 pump. I know, I got to give up. This is the, ready? You know, Adam, in 2020, was the Michael Jordan
yeah. I
of
saw.
rock, paper, scissors. In 2021, he was the old Michael Jordan.
He's still Michael Jordan,
of rock, paper,
Michael
scissors.
Jordan
which
playing
is still better
baseball.
than me.
He's still in the game, and we respect him, but we know we're probably going to beat him. You know?
Thanks, Michael.
So 2022, not looking too sharp either, folks.
Or as we were talking before we started recording, I'm the in 2020 I was Tim Tebow in college. 2021 I was Tim Tebow in the NFL.
Right.
2022, you're Tim Tebow on his couch.
That's right.
On his couch.
Sitting behind a microphone, so it's very fitting. So, all right. So we got 3 stories to pick from, Adam: the Suburban Fish Tank, the Tim McGraw, neither humble or kind, or Memorial Day meth party. Do you have one you think is absolutely true?
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward Tim McGraw being true because I know you grew up in Burlington. But it's between those other 2. I'm kind of leaning toward a Memorial Day meth party. But I don't know, that Suburban Fish Tank, that's pretty good. I don't really see Josh doing something like that. But I mean, I'm not saying he wouldn't.
Divorce will make you do some crazy things.
So I think I'm going to go with number 3, Memorial Day meth party.
You don't think that one's true? That's the Bullhucker.
I don't think it's his.
I don't think it's his. Okay. All right. The Tim McGraw one is the one my heart wants to pick. I don't know why. For some reason, I'm drawn to that, but my head's going to go a different way, which never goes well. I am going to pick the Suburban Fish Tank as my Bullhucker. It had the least amount of. You didn't have the passion for it as the other two stories. I don't think. The ex-wife thing. Do I put it past you? No, absolutely not. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm not going to be like, well, I knew I was wrong. I mean, I won't be shocked. Okay, to know that you actually did that. But for the other two, the Tim McGraw one, it's a close. It's a coin flip for me. Memorial Day Meth Party. I just believe that one. I don't know why, because you had the pickle part of it. That's a pretty obscure reference. So you're going to go Memorial Day Meth Party, and I'm going to go Suburban Fish Tank. And let's not hope 2022 starts with us both being beat.
See, the thing is my first thought was Tim McGraw, but then I was like, so I went another way. So I'm kind of like you. We're both kind of drawn to
Tim McGraw. That's the one you.
But then we go other directions. So
all right, whip it out, Josh.
We're sticking with the answers.
So So it's Tim MGraw. He beat us both.
I just want to make sure, just in case there was an issue.
He's Memorial Day. I'm Suburban Fish Tank. Oh, 2022, year of the moose, baby.
Whoop whoop. Oh, did you see? I'm sorry.
Yep. Who'd you borrow from?
That was my father, actually. That was my father. It didn't have to go too far. I got that story from him. I always thought it was funny, but he actually did some prison time on that deal.
Did he really?
Yeah, it was in California, and it was his third wife that he was married to. That's something we do have in common. There's not a lot else, but he was already on 2 strikes with the state, and came home from work. It was the same. The whole story is legit from that point forward. He grabbed his stuff. He filled up he put the hose through the window and took off in his truck. And he was going back to Sacramento and got pulled over by State Patrol on the way to Sacramento. Went to prison for 18 months, something like that, on that deal. And he's back in Colorado now. I don't know where she's at, but
you know what sucks the most? He went through all that trouble, had to go to prison, and you know what he could have done? Stole the pickle off her fridge, and it would have been just as impactful. Took one of her magnets and been like, it's either this or destroy the Suburban. So that's great, man. That's 1-0 for me so far. The Tim McGraw is a true story, then.
True story. Yep.
Yeah.
I was actually, like I said, I was excited because I'm like, I knew he was in town. We were going to go anyway. It's the only thing in Burlington at the time, and so I'm like, I was like, yeah, this would be cool. And when she said bring the carpet, she didn't say what for. And literally, I'm laying this down, looking up at this bus, going, "This is ridiculous, man! Like, this is what you do. Like, this is who's paying your bills,
right?
And then on top of that, to put up your food tent right next to where the flies, next to the, they're bringing manure from the bulls straight over to your food anyway,
right?
And it was just they were acting like they were way better than they really were, and it just put a sour taste in my mouth for him the rest of the time. And like I said, didn't even go that night. We stayed home. We literally watched. I can't remember if we watched Saturday Night Live or whatever was going on that night, but did that instead. But
what year was it around? You said 98?
It would have been like 97, 98, because I married right out of high school. I met her in July, and we were married by December, whatever. So it was only a couple of years into our marriage.
So even Saturday Night Live in the late 90s wouldn't have been a great option either.
But it was better than that, for sure.
Yeah, Will Ferrell
for sure.
So. That's too bad. And then also the Memorial Meth Day party is a true story.
That's a very true story. Very, very true story. Unfortunately,
right?
Not the greatest time that
You're young, man.
About.
I mean, you make stupid mistakes when you're a kid.
You do, and that's how I grew up. That's you learn from your mistakes. And
right.
So, there was, and honestly, it did. About half of my friends, they didn't make the right choice and went on, and the rest of us, kind of decided that was the last time, and that was the best way to learn. And
right.
So,
I had a buddy named Kelly Riggins. Rest his soul, man. What's up, Kel? We lost him years ago. I became very good friends in Pueblo with him, but before I met him, he was a skinhead. He was a white supremacist. Supremacist. Thank you. But he only liked the white people, and he was a skinhead. He was a super racist person. He had the Iron Cross tattoo on his. You know what I mean? That's just who he was. He got out of it. I mean, him and I became good friends, like very close friends before he died. And he worked at a nightclub, and there was a lot of people, minorities in there, and they would see his tattoo, and they'd look at him. He'd straight tell them, "Well, you didn't have a stupid childhood." You didn't make mistakes, and he'd smile, and they'd be like, yeah. You know, people were pretty accepting of it. He's just like, you know, hey,
Yep.
young and dumb, right? And everyone was like, yep, young and dumb.
That's what it is.
Get it covered.
Yeah.
Come on now, I'm working with the United Nations over here.
Yeah,
Come on.
right.
You know.
That's right. There's my friend. In like 15 years, he's going to take the 23andMe test. He's going to spit in the tube, and they're going to send him an email and be like, how many people spit in this tube? You know what I mean? 'Cause holy cow. You literally can be offended at any racial joke ever.
Right.
Except for German. There's two things that I got no skin in the game, and I'm, you know.
Like German and Irish.
Yeah. It's nice to know my ancestors were just weird racists against this. Anything's cool except the Germans. We're not going to be no Germans in this family, but everything else. I don't even know where you're from. I don't know what that country is, but we'll hit it, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's but yeah, it's a dumb childhood, man. But you learn and you came out of it, right?
That's
It was that
right.
stupid stuff they do when you're young. You do dumb stuff.
That's exactly it.
I thank God every day that social media wasn't around when I was in my 20s.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes.
I don't do real great with it in my 40s. I don't make the best choices all the time, you know. I don't. But in 20s, oh my, it's.
Well, just think. I mean, even the cell phones, like the sexting and the all that. Could you imagine? I mean,
No.
I even tell a joke about that on stage about what was it, Kavanaugh that got in trouble for, you know, they wanted to put him into the judicial whatever it was, Supreme Court, and they come back and says, well, back in 1982, you were at a party and you showed someone your penis, and he's like, and immediately I'm like, holy, if that was to happen today, imagine like if you went to a job interview, there's probably several people in there that might have seen your penis by now. Wait, Susie back on the fry line saw your penis. You can't have this job. Sorry, no.
Excuse me, sir, your penis has gone viral.
Yes,
and we have
your
no
penis
place for
is
that in this
viral.
workplace.
What's up, Lefty?
Right? I mean, awful, man.
It is.
Awful.
I mean, if that would have happened in our generation, I mean, I know he showed her his penis. They were drinking. People had
Right.
to. You know they did. But if it actually happened, and you know, like in my opinion, if it was a party and it really happened, everybody at that party knows you did it. You know,
Right.
like if it was that big of a deal.
Right.
Otherwise, movies were probably being shown too.
Oh,
you know,
my
let's just
gosh.
talk the real deal. You know.
Oh my gosh.
Like. If it was just like a social gathering and he showed his wiener, like everybody at that thing, that's how they know you for the
Right.
rest of your life. They would
Right.
have never even attempted to apply for the job.
Right, right. I have a friend who caught her son doing that, sending Peter Pick, and she had to sit him down and be like, you realize all of her friends have now seen that.
Yep.
There's nobody who hasn't seen that, you know?
Exactly.
And he's like, no. She's like, yeah.
Yes.
If she sends you a dirty pitch, your friends are going to see it. You know what I mean? Because you're a dude. You're young and stupid. But before we go, there is one thing I want to ask you to do, Josh. You said you had a Florida story. Is it a long one?
No, it's a short one.
It's a true story, though.
It is a true story.
Can we hear it?
Yeah. So it was actually at the Kit Carson County Fair, the same place. That was kind of why I didn't choose that one as well. But I was a sixth grade, and me and my so I would let me take this all the way back. Excuse me, I don't want to say it's that way, but we lost our farm when I was in third grade, so we moved to Colorado Springs, and I was living in Colorado Springs at the time. But I would come back in the summers and work for my aunt and uncle in Bethune at their feedlot, and so we would always go to like County Events Day, which was like the Wednesday of the fair. And so that day is the day that we do like the mutton busting, and you know, you think you're a cowboy as a kid, you know,
Right.
And so all day we're feeling like we're big dogs, and I don't know, it was about 6 o'clock or so. We went and we had to work the Catholic booth for the dinner, and
The Catholic booth.
The church booth, like
okay.
where they serve food. That sounded really bad.
I was trying to figure, like, what the hell are they serving at the Catholic booth?
Sorry.
Wafers and wine.
Yeah, like the Catholic
Sins.
Church has like.
Would you like some sins?
I left my butt hurt. It was weird.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm Catholic. Kind of.
I worked at the kitchen, and then we left there. So I had a meal right before we left. We went and got some cotton candy or something else. But I have a really bad time with rides that go round and round. Okay, so like I can ride roller coasters, I could jump out of a plane, I can do all that and never have a problem. But if you put me on something that spins, I'm not lasting too long.
Right.
After all this food, my buddy, and it was me and my cousin and a couple buddies, and we're like, hey, we're gonna get on the swings. Like, and if the swings is just this big round deal. There's like 3 swings in a row, and there's like 30 rows of
right.
swings. You know,
It's like
So-
on the Dave Matthews cover. That's
Right,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Well, luckily I'm on the outside swing of this deal, and we start going, and it seems like it's just going on forever. And I literally, I'm telling the guy, I'm like, hey man, we go around. I'm telling my buddy, I'm like, hey buddy, I'm getting sick. I'm not feeling too good.
Right.
And he goes, oh, they'll stop it soon. And I'm trying to hold it. I'm like, no, it's not gonna happen, man. And so they start yelling at the guy, stop, and he's not stopping at all. Like he's, this carny, he's on his own thing.
Right.
But I can't hold any longer, man. And it just, I mean, we spread everywhere. I spread it on me. I spread it on. It was like the Stand By Me or the pie contest. It was
Right,
like I'm just spraying on everybody. Then now we're stopping. Now he's shutting the ride down, and like I'm thinking, oh no. So we get to the ground, and everybody's just looking to find out who puked on him. And it's me on the chair.
Right,
and
right.
so I freaked out. But as soon as we came to a stop, I threw the little bar up. I jumped over and I ran like 2 blocks to where my mom was staying at this house. Dude.
Right.
Ran right in, just crying, bawling, man, like, oh, what happened to you? I was like, I puked on everybody.
She's like, son, don't exaggerate. You couldn't have puked on everybody. He's like, no, it was everybody.
Pretty much everybody.
And I even got myself again on the second time around.
And cotton candy, cheeseburger. Who knows? There was so much. It was bad. It was so bad.
That's
I don't know if that's a better fair story than the Tim McGraw.
no,
Maybe it
Tim
didn't.
McGraw's good. They're both good. It's been there. I've seen some kid do it on the Gravitron.
Oh yeah.
Mac Deal. What's up, Mac? And I were at the at the state fair, and sure enough, some kid was climbing upside down. Young kid was like, and I'm just like, yeah.
Oh, it's bad for me. I can in Burlington. You might have seen it, but it's the carousel. That's their big thing. Is they have this old carousel.
Yeah, the old classic or historic carousel.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's still $1 to ride the whole 9. If I get on that, I'm puking, guaranteed. I mean, just the round, just the round. Oh man, not good for me.
That's funny.
No bueno.
All right. Well, hey Josh, thank you so much for coming on. I always enjoy when you came on, man. You got to be on here a little more often. We got to get Josh back. So
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
It's been
This is
forever.
awesome.
I've been calling up the OGs, guys were on first. Like Michelle's done it. Dempsey's on here quite a bit as a co-host, and then Andy Rice will be back too, hopefully. So I think he might have been He was number 2. You were number 3. Matt Gordon was number 1. That's what it was. So, anyway, man, I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, bullhucker.com. If you want to check out the Gladiator boxing gym, the link is below. So make sure you show those guys some love for showing us some love. All right, thanks. Peace.